always tell people when they're building a brand, they need to know first and foremost who they are, what they stand for, who they help, and what problem do they solve. Those are like the key components when you're creating a brand. Video is where it's at. Video, you have to be doing video to attract people to what it is that you offer. You can try to go about it other ways, but it's going to take a lot longer and the conversion rate is not going to be as high. When you create products that you only have to create once that you can resell over and over again, and then here's the kicker and the key, you get other people to market your product and then you give them a percentage.
What one key piece of advice would you like to give to all the entrepreneurs watching and listening today?
Step out of your comfort zone and just take action.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of the Business Growth Show. I'm your host, Ethan Cassiotis, and today I have an awesome guest. Her name is Dana Flanagan. She is a reinvention mentor, speaker, and the creator of Burnout to Brilliance, a movement that empowers women to rediscover their voice, amplify their brand, and attract aligned clients with ease. And with over 2 decades of success in luxury real estate, branding, and digital entrepreneurship, she brings a rare blend of high-performance business strategy and heart-centered coaching to every stage she steps on. And her career has included working with high net worth individuals, celebrities, professional athletes, and elite clientele, building trust, credibility, and consistent results in competitive, high-stakes spaces. Now, she helps people go from overlooked to unforgettable by building soul-aligned personal brands, showing up powerfully on social media, and monetizing their message with purpose and profit. And her talks combine strategic insight with inspiring, down-to-earth storytelling, leaving audiences ready to take bold, aligned action. Welcome, Dana, and thank you for being on the Business Growth Show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing show for everyone watching and listening today. And you are a successful entrepreneur. So yeah, for those people who don't know who you are, just introduce yourself by telling us a little bit more about you and your journey.
Well, you did a wonderful introduction there, so thank you so much for that. That was tremendous. But yeah, to elaborate a little bit on what you said, I have been an entrepreneur for over 25 years. I started in real estate. That was my main focus early on, and I built a very successful real estate career. And fast forward, not to bore you, but I got involved with coaching, and because of my ability to pivot in different markets and be able to constantly be changing with not only different markets and different locations, but different demographics, different market trends, and things such as COVID, things like that. So some of the things that I did was I always looked for the loophole where there was a gap. And so, for instance, I happened to be speaking to a high net worth individual down in South Florida at the time, and he owned a family office and he had a need for a lot of real estate, obviously. I mean, that's a lot of real estate passes through family offices, and that's a lot of their assets. And he said to me that he just didn't understand how I could help his clients in other areas outside of Florida where I'm licensed. And a light bulb went off, and I thought to myself, gosh, this family office market where everything is very exclusive and very private, how do they not know that they can utilize me, or why would they not want to utilize me as an in-house concierge for their high net worth clients, where they're going to be referring people to buy, let's just say $15 million vacation homes in luxury markets. They don't want to just pass them off to anybody. So what I did is I created a concierge service for family offices, and that led me to a lot of opportunities in the high net worth individual space. And so I just learned to pivot over and over and reinvent myself. I mean, sometimes things didn't work out. I call that failing forward, right? When things don't work out, it's redirecting you to something better, and you usually learn from it. And that's always a great opportunity to learn. So I've just always been reinventing myself and creating my own opportunities.
Yeah, I love that story. And it's so true about the entrepreneurial journey, right? There's so many ups and downs. People just see us now and go, oh, you're all this success. You know, they don't realize all the challenges or the pivots or the changes, that we had to go through to get to where we are. I love that. So thanks for sharing that extra part about what you do and how you've, transformed, with additional things of how you're helping people. And I know a big thing about what you do is about branding, right? And I think this is really important. With people, a lot of people just think, oh, let's market, but really, it all starts with your brand. So I know a key thing about what you talk about is how to build an unshakable brand. So yeah, tell us more about this.
Yeah, so that all came from again pivoting in business, and I started coaching real estate agents first and foremost. That was obviously my full experience, and that's what I was experienced in. And that turned into them mostly needed help with social media and branding. They didn't know who they were, what they represented, and who their ideal client was, really. And so they had trouble niching it down. That's always a problem because when you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. So I had other people coming to me asking me, hey, do you help people that are not in real estate? I need help with social media or branding, or I don't know where to start with building my brand. So I started working with people outside of real estate, and then that kind of just snowballed. It turned into me helping people with their social media. Primarily, I was getting a lot of inquiries from women, mostly between like 40 and 65, that really were pivoting in life. Maybe they got laid off, maybe they retired, maybe they were just burnt out, and that's why my program is called Burnout to Brilliance. And they wanted to do something that lights them up, but they don't know where to start. And I find that's a very common thing in midlife where women and men, but I tend to focus a little bit more on women that are just really burnt out. They have so many great ideas. They don't know how to monetize them and they don't know the first place to start. So that's really what we do is we really uncover what lights them up and take them from the complete burnout that they're feeling, that feeling of kind of hopelessness and maybe I'm too old to do something different or maybe my ideas don't matter, to recreating themselves and building a brand around what it is that lights them up and what it is that they're good at. So I do that. And then I also have a beginner social media course called Standout Social, which is a done for you, basically soup to nuts. If you are a beginner with social media and all you maybe you know how to do is sign in or pull up the app and scroll, and you don't know how to make reels or create calls to action to your business and to what it is that you're offering. If you need clients and you need customers and you don't know how to create a call to action on social media, then you need my course. So that's something that's been pretty new, but it's self-taught. So you can download the course and take it on your own time. It's all step-by-step videos. And then you get into a community where you have master classes and that sort of thing. So that is something that I'm really proud of. I am the person on all the modules, so they will see my face every single time they sign in. And it's great because it's really what a lot of people need. People buy courses to learn certain things about social media, but sometimes they just don't know the basics, and that's what keeps them scared from moving forward and taking action.
Yeah, cool, awesome. I love the mindset stuff you were talking about a bit there because I think that's the key thing, right? Is uncovering what limiting things are stopping people. I think with anybody, right, getting into business, no matter what stage they're at. So, and then yeah, obviously the branding side so important. Let's talk about business brand, personal brand now, right? Because the way I see it, we've got both. People understand that, and I think the personal brand, to my eyes, we've both got one, is becoming more important, right? In this today's market. So, do you want to just share a little bit more about those and the importance of that, that positioning and what it can do for us, right, by building that as well?
Yeah, I mean, I always tell people when they're building a brand, they need to know first and foremost who they are, what they stand for, who they help, and what problem do they solve. Those are like the key components when you're creating a brand. You really need to create your brand message right out of the gate. So if you are a um, person that maybe helps stay-at-home moms make money online, right? You know your brand message is going to be first who you serve, and then what problem do you alleviate for them? So it could say something like, I help stay-at-home moms make money online without burning out. That's very basic, but you get the point of it is that, that solves the problem. They're feeling burnt out. They're feeling like they don't have enough time in the day. They're home with their kids are running around. All of those types of things that are going through their mind with those limiting beliefs that, oh, I don't have time. When am I going to fit this in? So, I mean, you can even niche it down more and be very, very specific about who you are, what you do, and who you help and what problem you solve right out of the gate. If your bio on social media doesn't say that, it's going to be, people are going to scroll right past it. It's going to be very confusing to the consumer when you don't have a bio that matches your brand. So you are your brand. Social media is your bio or your billboard. And that's really important to have your billboard be very clean and specific as far as what you do and who you help and what problem you solve. Sales is simple. Sales is solving a problem that other people have. And when you can effectively convey the problem that you solve, those people are going to feel compelled to buy from you. It's just how you send your message across to your audience. And you have to make sure that you are speaking to the right audience because you can have 100,000 followers on social media. But if those people don't understand what you do and they're not your customer, it's gonna fall on deaf ears. I would rather have 1,000 followers that are really interested in what it is that I offer because you are going to be able to close sales and your conversion rate is going to be a lot higher that way. So those are just, some helpful hints, which kind of sound like they should be fairly basic, but there are so many people that come to me and they'll spend hours trying to figure out their brand message when really it's just kind of like three or four key components.
Yeah, love that. So, so powerful. I love the simplicity and, just take the action, right? Put it out there, get that clear message, and then you'll be able to attract, right? People
Yeah.
from there. So, really awesome. So, then obviously, we've got a great brand now. Then from there, it comes down to marketing, right? So, how are we attracting, people to us? And the digital marketing space is obviously, getting a lot of traction these days. So, yeah, love to know your thoughts on all of that, digital marketing and, what should we be focusing on there too?
Sure. Yeah, great question. So, video is where it's at. Video, you have to be doing video to attract people to what it is that you offer. You can try to go about it other ways, but it's going to take a lot longer and the conversion rate is not going to be as high. And by that, I mean, you got to get into posting reels and video with obviously with movement. You don't have to be, this is where people get really hung up. You don't have to video yourself speaking with a microphone at all if you don't want to. You don't have to do that every single time. You can actually do faceless video. You can create what you want is you want to have the video that builds interest and you want to have the content on the video, the captions across the video because please don't post videos without any writing. I always tell people this. And that's so important for so many reasons. Visually, for the algorithm, anything that you put on the video, whether it's captions that are auto-generated or what you write across the video, is going to be telling the algorithm exactly who you want to put that in front of. So if your message is unclear, the algorithm is going to put you in front of the wrong people. So that's where something I also go over in my training and my coaching program is getting in front of the right audience by learning how to train the algorithm to position your content in front of the right people. As far as the videos go, I'll go back to the faceless videos. You can take a video of, let's just say, the ocean waves crashing on the sand in front of you. And you don't have to be speaking. You don't even have to show your face at all. You can write some content with a call to action. There needs to be a compelling hook. There needs to be the content of the actual, like, let's just call it the meat and potatoes of the message, and then a call to action. If you're just posting a video and you don't have a call to action, that's also not going to work for you. So you need to tell people what you want them to do. Do you want them to comment? Do you want them to DM you? Do you want them to go to your link in your bio? What do you want them to do? You have to be very clear on that in every single video. So again, posting a video with the movement and some music and some, writing over the screen is going to be way better than you just making a post with some writing, with no movement, no video. The reels are what people see when they're scrolling. You don't see people's posts with just writing without any sort of picture or any sort of video. It's the reels that you'll see when you're swiping And whether it's on Instagram or TikTok or even Facebook, it's the reels that come up with movement in front of you because those are pushed out by the algorithm. So there's a lot of tips and tricks that will get you in front of your right audience with just what you say, how you position yourself online, how you train the algorithm, and just you have to have some sort of interesting content. If you're going to look like everybody else's content, the algorithm's not going to push you out. So there's just a few little tidbits there that hopefully help people with their positioning. But social media can be a great tool for advertising. It's free. You just have to invest in it. And what I mean by that is get yourself a coach or a course for a few months. Invest in yourself. My course, Standout Social, is $397. And then you can resell it if you want. So if you want to give it to your office or resell it to your friends and say, hey, this really helped me, you're going to make 80% commission every single time you resell it. So it's kind of a win-win. Either way, it's a great investment if it gets you one client. You've probably made your money back. But invest in yourself and your business because people will spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on magazine ads and ads that really fall on a audience that isn't even their customer, and they won't invest in themselves when you can actually position yourself very easily in front of the right audience on social media.
Yeah, I agree. So important to invest in yourself and these skills and yeah, just the standard stuff and just putting yourself out there, right? And that consistency, right? I think is important too. And that's probably a question that maybe some people
Mhm.
would have that I've heard of before. It's like, well, how often should I be posting or something like that, right? On social media. So what would you say? I know obviously I know some people go full on and they post like 10 times a day, which is not what we're going to see starting on for most people. But what
Right.
would you say maybe as a minimum or an ideal area of posting like the reels and things, yeah, on socials?
So that's a great question, and I get that a lot. It's not as much of how much you post it's not about how much you post. I post at least once a day, but it's more about maintaining the consistency. So if you one day you post 10 times and the next 2 days you don't post anything, the algorithm is not going to be your friend. They are not going to push your stuff out next time around. So just make sure that you are consistent. So if you're going to post in the morning and at night, do that consistently. If you're going to post every other day, do that consistently. I will tell you, if you're trying to get clients on social media, posting once a week is not going to do it for you. I would say a good rule of thumb, people say, is like 2 to 3 times a day. And you can batch your content and put it in drafts and do it later. If you're bored on a Saturday morning, you can batch your content for the week. You can hire a social media manager if you want to. You can also use apps like Hootsuite, which will post on all your platforms for you to save you time. It is going to take you a little bit of time, but think about the alternative, right? The alternative is maybe spending thousands of dollars on unnecessary ads with a low ROI and a limited audience. Or you can get in front of the right people by just taking a little time each morning or maybe at night when you're laying in bed. You can save that till the next morning if you want to. I post, I do my content right in the morning when I get up. So I get up pretty early. I have my coffee, and that's the first thing I do is I put together my content for the day. And that takes me, probably takes me about a half hour to do a couple posts, but I have it ready to go because my day is going to get busy and I want to make sure that I get the content out there. That is a big piece of my business. So you just have to treat it as part of your business. You're not going to go to work and not call back 10 clients. It's the same thing. You're maintaining your brand and that is your marketing. That's probably your biggest marketing budget should be that, but it's in the form of personal time, I guess.
Yeah, awesome. Love that. So true. And I know one thing as well for me that I've done, and I know that you do this consistently as well, was around live videos, right? Putting yourself out there. So I guess it's a muscle that gets built obviously over time because the first live, everyone's going to
Mhm.
be, average, let's call it at best. But then you like going to the gym, you build the muscle and it gets easier over time. And I think I like it because you don't have to prepare that much, right? If that makes sense, you don't have to worry about doing it. But there's a few little tips. What are your thoughts around lives? How much to do them, and maybe some tips around the live perspective as well?
Yeah, sure. So I found that going live, depending on what your brand is and what you're marketing, consistently on the same platform obviously helps. It is scary for people to go live. And I find that a lot of people, like most things, a lot of people give up before they see results. This is pretty much across the board with anything, right? My first business was real estate. And you know how many realtors give up because they don't sell a house the first month, right? So it's that consistency. You're going to be talking to yourself probably for like the first couple times that you go live, which is okay because you need that practice. Use that practice as if you're talking to your best friend on FaceTime. It is exercising a muscle that over time you're going to get more comfortable. And people do all sorts of things with their lives, which I don't, I find sitting in a quiet area with a stationary, I use my phone, I don't use my computer. Um, I have a little stand, but you don't even need that. And just being consistent is key. But some people are going for a walk. Some people are sitting outside while their kids, ride bikes in the driveway. Those people, I have seen multi-millionaires that do this. It's really just whatever your shtick is, if that makes sense. If you're known for that, then that's kind of part of your brand. But don't try to be somebody that you're not. Don't go on there and try to act like everybody else because people are going to work with people they know, like, and trust. And then you're going to start to build that authoritative piece of your business. So you come across as an authority in your market. Whether you're a realtor, whether you're a mortgage broker, whether you're in digital marketing, you're coming across as an authority figure and an expert in that market. Remember that you're talking to people that probably don't know as much as you do. So you are the expert. So position yourself in that way. And it is scary. It is something that you just need to do. And over time, you're going to build your audience and you'll find that you'll actually have people that will be looking forward to your lives at night or in the morning or whenever you go on.
Yeah, I love that. So true. And I find as well, we do some speaking, right? It helps for speaking, right? Like you get the live, so it becomes easier as you're speaking to people because you just become more confident. So it's a great skill to do and completely agree. And, I think everyone scrolls so much these days. I think it's like the height of the Eiffel Tower every day or something, right? So everyone's going to forget about the live
Mhm.
in a week anyway because they see so much content. So it doesn't matter how average you were initially because you would just, yeah, get
Right.
better over time. So yeah,
Yeah,
love that one as well.
absolutely. It's a huge confidence builder. It really is. So if you're lacking confidence, that's even more the reason to do it because that's what's going to help you grow.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely. So let's talk about it now. So we've got our brand, we're marketing things out there. We're obviously want to be, putting an offer out there, right? And I know you help a lot of people with online businesses, in what they're doing there. So how do we put something together as like a package, right? I'm going, well, how can we put this out online so we can sell that, to people and provide some value for them as well?
Sure. So it depends what your business is, obviously. For realtors, you'll find that, I mean, nobody's clicking on and buying a realtor, right? They're using a service. So that realtor would just use a nicely done website. You can do a really nice website for free on Canva. It may not have all the bells and whistles, like if you're a realtor and you want the MLS hooked up with it and that sort of thing. But Canva, you can build a very nice website, or you can have somebody do it for you for five, 10, $15,000. Whatever you want on the website's obviously it's going to change the price. I have somebody that is fantastic. If anybody wants my recommendation and would like a really great website, please reach out to me. Um, so that's one thing because that's going to have a call to action to call them for buying and selling. If you have an actual product that you're selling, like a digital product, like a course, an ebook, a maybe you have downloadables. That's going to come in the form of an online store. And there are so many different stores that you can put products in. So Stand Store is one of them, for instance. You can use Go High Level. You can use Beacons. They are going to be host platforms for your product. So if you are, once you have your store, you're going to have a link, which is basically a website link, just like if you had a regular personalized website. You're going to have that website link and you're going to want to put that in your bio. So your Instagram bio, your Facebook bio, your TikTok bio, your LinkedIn bio. And that is where you are going to draw attention via the video or the reel or a photo carousel post. You can alternate some of those things. Not every single post needs to be a video, but you're going to want to attract your audience with a compelling hook. So by that I mean touching on a pain point that your audience has. So we'll go back to like the I'll go back to my realtors, right? So if I'm trying to sell my coaching program to realtors, I will say something in a hook like, do you feel like you're constantly just spinning your wheels on social media and getting no bites? Dot, dot, dot. Right? Like, I mean, I kind of came up with that quickly, but that's gonna stop a realtor and go, oh yeah, that's me. You want to be speaking to one person in your post where that person on the other end goes, oh yeah, I feel that way. That's me. And they continue to read. You don't want to have your entire offer on the front of the screen. You want to have a compelling hook that gets them to stop scrolling to read the rest of your offer. Um, you could say something like, people think selling a digital product that you make on Canva for $97 is the key to business, or is the key to making a lot of money online. That's great, but instead I did this, or dot, 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 something like that. Like that one, I kind of messed that up a little bit, but you want to be really, really clear on who you're talking to, and you want to grab them in the first 1 to 2 seconds, or they are going to keep scrolling. Then you're going to direct them with the content of the post and a call to action to visit your link. So, we have several digital products, ebooks, how to make money online, things like that. And we'll put something on the post like, I have the perfect system for you to be able to make thousands from your phone, but you keep scrolling. Something like that. And then it's like you have like the finger pointing down to read the rest of the post. That's going to stop somebody that's going to say, "Oh, I can make money from my phone." And they're going to read a little bit more and they're maybe going to visit your link. So it's all about just having that right hook, driving them to your offer. And a lot of times you can put the link like in a story. You can put it right on the actual video on your story. So you want to just get people clicking and you want to have something that is going to grab their email. So like a freebie. Like, you know, like, do you spend a lot of time staring at your phone and never know what to post? Download my freebie, 30 days of hooks, content, and calls to action. Here's the link. And that's a freebie, but in order for them to download it, they have to put in their email. So that's really, that's the way to do it. Once you get it down, and I have a whole course that teaches you how to make money online, so you can find that also in our website. Or they can just send me an email. I have quite a few different businesses when it comes to this, but that's what we teach people, how to monetize their brand, how to make money online. That's even creating a new brand, um, how to perfect their offer so people feel compelled to buy. And I obviously have the real estate coaching and the burnout to brilliance as well. So we do a lot, and that all stems from digital products and showing up online. And all of this can be done from a laptop and a phone, or honestly, it can all be done from a phone. So it can be
Yeah.
done all around the world too. I mean, you can do this. I've got clients in all sorts of countries all over. So this is a global initiative.
Yeah, amazing. Love that. It's definitely all packaged in there, and it's easy. Like you said, we've got a supercomputer basically right in our phone now that, and they've got so good cameras, so you can do all of that. I think there's an authentic element as well, right? Being a bit less polished, which is great in the content. And then yeah, being clear on what your offer is and that marketing, process or funnel or whatever you want to call it, right? Of taking people through a step, and then I guess it comes down to some of that remarketing, right? That would happen after, right? Because once you get their email, then it's like, okay, now I can start to, send some emails to them and things like that to then warm them up more to then,
Mhm.
ideally get them to buy in the near future.
Yeah. So, this starts to get a little bit more advanced, but we've all been there, right? Where we check out somewhere, whether it's in person at a store or online, and they grab our email, and all of a sudden we are flooded with emails from these companies over and over again. That's because you've ended up in their email sequence and in their funnel. So the whole purpose is to get people's emails to have a kind of an end result, right? So they're gonna end up in a funnel. What that means is that they are going to get emails, however long you want to set them up. You can do a 14 days after and then stop, kind of like dwindle it after that. Um, I don't think it's great to spam people. I'm not a fan of getting 5 emails a day from companies. I do like once a day or once every other day. In the beginning, it's the first 7 days. Boom, 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 like trying to get their interest. And then you spark them with the sequence is purposeful in how it's written out. right? And so you can use ChatGPT for a lot of these things. I have a tremendous branding bot that I use that's, I think, way better than ChatGPT. So it's easy to set these things up once you have your framework and your foundation in place. And everything that we provide with our programs can set you up with your foundation literally from soup to nuts. I mean, if you know nothing and you say, here's my idea, how do I build a business to market? That's something that we can help you with. So it sounds like I'm kind of giving like bits and pieces of it, but once you come to me and you tell me what you're looking for, I'm able to put you into the right vehicle that's going to help you build what you need to build. When I built my real estate coaching program, I invested in myself and I followed a proven system and a foundation that I purchased because honestly, I didn't know where to start. I knew I wanted to coach realtors, but you can't just go all willy-nilly with it. How are you going to take payment? How are you going to have a checkout page? How are you going to thank them for their business? How are you going to get them to fill out a form that is going to tell you a little bit, an intake form that's going to tell you more about them? That's a little bit more complicated. When you're selling digital products online, people buy the product, they check out, and you don't even talk to them. So if you want to create a book, an ebook, or a course, those are lower ticket items, under $1,000, where you create it once and people buy it over and over again. I know several multi-millionaires in this space that have started. They have no special skills. Some of them are grandmothers, stay-at-home moms, teachers that have retired. When I say retired, retired in their 30s or even 20s, and have built their digital marketing business. So this is something that anybody can do. They just need the right framework and the right person to hold their hand. So these courses that teach you how to do this are $497 for the business building one and $397 for the people that literally know nothing about social media and want to learn how to show up online. Those are my two courses that are probably the most popular. And that's really all you need to build your business. And I'm here as a personal mentor. And my fiance, Mark, does the digital marketing with me. So we're here to help everybody win on social media. So, and in their business, really. So, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun, and it's really honestly changed our lives. Our goal is to not have to, is to work smarter, not harder, and to be able to work from anywhere. So when you create products that you only have to create once that you can resell over and over again, and then here's the kicker and the key, you get other people to market your product and then you give them a percentage. So that's called affiliate marketing. So now you have a web of hundreds, if not, maybe even thousands of people marketing your product, and you've got the affiliate fee coming in from all over, and they're happy to have a business where they didn't have to create a product. So that's a form of affiliate marketing. I'm happy to talk to anybody about it, but they can also see about it on our website. And that is a whole nother world, my friends. If you have not gotten into it, you can monetize every single thing that you do. Everything that, I mean, Amazon, Target, even like people on TikTok are monetizing all sorts of things on that app. And you can really create an amazing passive income stream for yourself.
Yeah, love it. Definitely very powerful, and I love the affiliate extra stuff. Thanks for going a bit more advanced, which I think is great, right?
Mhm.
So people can see
Yeah.
there of what's possible, and yeah, getting a lot of other people to sell for us, right? Which is awesome, instead of just doing it for ourselves and everybody wins on that leverageable point.
Yeah.
And I know one key thing that you also like to talk about is the power of relationships, and I'm big on
Mhm.
this as well. I think relationships is everything in business. So yeah, tell us more about the power of them.
Yeah, so I mean, everything is relationships. Everything that we do is built on relationships, and that is the foundation of of everything, really. Um, People work with who they know, like, and trust. And I said that before. That is where you create a foundation and an initial rapport. And I know some people might be thinking, well, how do you create rapport on social media? That's easy. That's where your reels and your video and you showing up online comes in. People have certain people that they love to follow their content. If you resonate with them or they feel like they have some commonality. Like I have a girl who is works with me. She sells one of my digital products and she was texting me today and she said, I think I'm going to reposition my audience because she's a young mom and she has a 4-year-old who has autism, and then she has a baby. And she said, I want to get in front of the moms online that literally feel like they're pouring from an empty cup. And I said, that is a perfect niche. Perfect. Because how many stay-at-home moms have like mom guilt for, because, she quit her job, so she's home now with her kids. And that is her niche. Women that feel like they're pouring from an empty cup with small children at home. That people get afraid to niche it down, but she's creating those relationships, even if she never speaks to them. Those women feel seen and heard. And when people feel seen and heard, they are going to buy and want to be connected to you. So, whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're a CEO or an executive, a nurse, a teacher, whatever it is that you're doing, find your niche and target that audience. Because if you think you're going to talk to everybody and sell to everybody, you're going to end up selling to nobody. You want to speak to people that feel like you are talking directly to them, like you are talking to one person. And that's where that relationship forms. So online relationships do form even when you don't think that they are, right? Because people feel compelled to come back to your live or they watch your content. In person, I mean, it's just as important, right? So building those relationships, making sure that you understand the difference between a connection and a relationship. Connections are, I see people that go to all these networking events all over. They'll connect with people and they'll say, oh my God, I made so many connections. And then they'll literally be the worst person at following up. And so, what was the point of flying across the country, going to a networking event, making 100 connections, but they created no relationship after? There was no follow up, there was no plan, there was no framework really to their method, right? So they ended up, people will forget who you are, they'll forget what you did, and we always hear like people will never forget how you made them feel. But when you let people know that you see them and you hear them, that's when they will remember you and they will want to work with you. So that is the power of relationships if you learn how to do it correctly.
Yeah, I love it. Completely agree. It's so powerful, and I'm more of a quality person as well, right? Like just handing out business cards or meeting 100 people doesn't really matter. What matters is the people that you actually build a relationship with, and then move that along. Whether you do business with them, partner with them, they introduce you to somebody else, right? It's that process. I'd rather have 10 people, that I'm building a quality relationship with, because that will likely turn to something than just trying to get reach out to so many people for no reason. So yeah, love that. Really, really powerful. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and yeah, you shared so much gold with us here today, Dana. And I guess as we're starting to wrap up the show today, what one key piece of advice would you like to give to all the entrepreneurs watching and listening today?
Oh gosh. I mean, my biggest key piece of advice is to step out of your comfort zone and just take action. There are so many people that are sitting on the sidelines, letting life pass them by because they have limiting beliefs. They are a product of their environment, whatever their story or excuse is, to just take action, step out of their comfort zone, do it scared, do it messy, just do it because you're never going to be 100% ready. And showing up is like a huge piece of the game, right? So just showing up, whether you're scared, nervous, just show up and just do it. So this is your message to just start what you've been wanting to start, quit what you've been wanting to quit, make that transition for whatever it is that you want to do. And this can be a lot of different things. This can be that weight loss that somebody's been looking to do. Maybe they want to start a sport or an activity or traveling or whatever it is, but they're nervous for whatever reason. Just get started and just do it.
Yeah, amazing. Completely agree, right? Knowledge is only potential power. The applied knowledge is power, right? You got to take the action. That's the only way things are going to happen, right? To get results and all of that.
Totally.
And yeah, we connected through our networks. I learned about your awesome journey from, being in luxury real estate to branding and digital entrepreneurship to now being the creator of Burnout to Brilliance. Amazing woman, so knowledgeable. You shared so much gold with us here today, from key foundations to more advanced things in branding, marketing, offers, right? And the power of relationships. And I'm sure you will continue to empower women to rediscover their voice, amplify their brand, and attract aligned clients with ease. I'm very grateful that we connected. Look forward to partnering with you. So, Dana, how can people find you, get in contact with you?
Yes, yes. So you can find me all over social media at Dana Flanagan. My Instagram is Dana Flanagan Official. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn as well. And I have two websites. I know this is a little bit confusing, but they're because I have a business with my fiance, I have it separate from my which was been my business all along. So you can find me at my website for Burnout to Brilliance at danaflanagan.com. And then if you're interested in digital marketing, Standout Social, that is where my fiance Mark and I teach everybody about how to make money online through digital marketing, digital products, and affiliate marketing. And that website is digitalmarketingduo, DUO.com. Okay, so digitalmarketingduo.com.
Beautiful. Awesome. We'll definitely check out Dana there on all the social platforms, on her personal brand website, and the Digital Marketing Duo as well website there for everything that you want to do to learn and yeah, connect and then, take it from there. So, yeah, it's been a pleasure interviewing you, Dana, and thanks for being on the Business Grow Show.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for watching and listening to the Business Growth Show, where we talk about everything on business growth. And please like, subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review. You can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as Ethan Cassiotis, or visit my website, ethancassiotis.com. And if you want to grow and scale your business, you can reach out to me on any platform to see if we're a good fit. So until next time, remember that our business grows where we learn skills and take action using them in spite of fear. So let's create wealth and freedom together.